Felt gas, but still couldn't find a steady state. Dropped a little weight, shed some light on my past ways. The gamma rays, though massless, lifted the stress off my chest. On to the next, I kept absorbing. Before I knew it, I was a carbon, all about bonding. Met girl, breath of fresh air, called her oxygen. Got my G on, had to let her go cause I was no neon. That meant the cause wasn't noble. O2 was local, there was no trust. And long term, that's rust. You wouldn't iron me out. And I was patient, but that don't mean giving into oxidation. And after that, I was so mean, couldn't give an F. They used to call me Fluorine. Stepped out on scene, found one that went down, name was Chlorine. Two fools in a pool, played out like a wet dream. Oh, so unclean. Then she asked me for some silicone. That's when I realized I was living my life wrong. Started thinking like argon. Became a worker, his pockets was sulfur. Hard titanium, so solid, yet made it rain on them. Called me Mercury because I switched states on them. That was the hustle, reaching a pinnacle, all for nickel. While they all went soft, I went heavy metal. Grew another level, cationic, negativity abolished. Didn't settle for no scum, just went platinum. Shaked hands, thanked everyone. No need to bury me, dig me up, uranium. This is evolution. Win some, lose some. Where did I come from? What's the conclusion? Let me collapse, send me back, explosion.
Woo!
So, seeing as exams are coming up just now, this piece is about school. I wrote it because I got a bad mark on a test. They asked me why I was so broken. The outcast of my generation, they got two nickels to rub together, call that a token of their appreciation for what I brought to this round table of fable. Get that education because without it you are unable to ascend, which is agreeable to a certain extent, but never will there be total accord found in these chords. That single place where the poets are not the kids who did not make it, where the classrooms do not nurture their employees, where there's a co-op in fine arts and a major for MCs and labs for free thinking and OSAP to finance dreams. But my vision cannot be bought nor sold, borrowed nor owed, because you see, I was too cool for school, but at the same time, I was too fool for school. That's a three-sided argument to think outside my box of thought, because I was an enriched kid who conducted applied math, brain of a doctor, but hardly applied class, but lots of polygamy, because I was fucking both those girls, but one was a bitch. And that bitch of a girl, her name was Institution, and she had it in her head that she was the only solution, and deviation usually meant parental prosecution, and 5 years straight she was my New Year's resolution. She made textbooks a good look, but how'd I go broke when knowledge is priceless? Like a commercial for MasterCard and I'm maxed out, mentally indebted, but I get no credit from the prof who I figure makes 6 figures, so I check the balance and they tip the scale in favor of the bell curve, they averaged you out. They labeled me a 60, but I'm just trying to keep it raw 100 because this is some real shit, not some this is how I feel shit. Emotion got weeded out like a freshman, nothing but a victim of the standardized testing. But did anyone stop to think about the first years that couldn't hack it? Or did they just get lost in thoughts of volunteer hours and extracurriculars and publications? The ones who had to resort to changing majors, and I'm saying this with a 3.0 GPA, so don't get no funny thoughts. Or how about the ones that pay their own way? Let's hear it for those who are not a part of the Lucky Sperm Club. For those who have to put in 20 hours this weekend and next just to afford that text. Because he bought a used one this year, but they're changing it up. Or how about those who feel that no matter what, they just do not reap what they sow? For those who can study all night, feel all right, just so their knowledge does not coincide with the rubric. The way you worded it was, man, I hate it when they say that shit. But this raises the question, am I a slacker or just insufficient? Or maybe work got in the way, but I gotta work to pay so it can be debt or the credit. It's a catch-22-inch double-edged sword swung twice for 2 strikes, so the TAs are loving it. But now I gotta cut. So, dear system, to you and all yours, a sincere apology, but the world is ours. A middle finger from the free thinkers, and this one's from the poets. And this one's from you all, and you don't even know it.
Continuing on the theme of that, we are going to talk about school, because that's where we are right now. Growing up, there's just one rule. The young ones gotta be in school. Picture with me this double-edged tool. A ruler which confines, keeps us all in line. Single file with a smile, knife with no blunt side. Which resumes to cut down dreams to the size of pie. To divide us into factions, left begging for quarters, yet we are the fraction. So here's an A for effort. Learn to be a good sport. A B for misbehaving, not running and slaving. This is real world training. A C for craving, something extra, as you try paving a road to outer haven. A D for dreaming, imagining and scheming for freedom, because this is life's necessary evil. An F for forgetting that you'll end up regretting. If you leave, you'll be left with no purpose or direction. So no insurrection or interjecting. Raise your hand up if you have a question. So no talking back or objection. This is programming of the system, fed through the nerves to make it subconscious in the mind what was meant for. Degrees like the contracts and we the students indentured. So the high dropout rates were sent for, plotted by the ones that stayed through their graphic calculators. Just the logistics of classroom visits, not knowing their own course. They are the statistics. Feeling smug, the others shrugged, glad to have missed the bug, but couldn't hide because their mind got burnt like rugs. Let's just stay, I suppose. High fees, let's oppose. Complain, not propose. Alternates that chose. Futures dictated by Freakonomics as we learn through mnemonics. Forget the knowledge next year due to excess gin and tonics? Who won it? I guess you, because you asked for it. But on the rise to success, someone's got a plateau. Because when it comes to education, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Thank you. YouTube.com/TheAppliedMinds.